Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today, sit a while, for we are playing some more Franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. Alright, so today is February 2008, and as in with every February that I don't forget, I think it happened once actually, I submitted contract extensions to my players whose contract are about to expire and that I actually want to keep. So we can see them here. Some of them are getting a little bit of a boost in salary, so Mike Fisher being one of them. Then I'm keeping Sam Gagner, Joe Thornton, Matt Stajan, Brian Elliott, Zdeno Chara, Matt Unwick, and Jesse Winchester. Some of them are mostly just for depth. You can't have only 5-star players. That's not how that works. So I do have some depth player there. Among the big names that I am not keeping, you can look all the way to the right of the screen if you are looking at your screen right now. We have Patrick Elias, who's hurt, and his contract is expiring, and I am not going to renew him. Reason being, he wants over $4 million, he's 31, and he scored a whopping 2 goals this year. Now, I know goals are not the only thing, he does have 27 assists and everything, but he's centering my second line, and he's kind of struggling. Now, I know he's been hurt and everything, but I think it's maybe time to move away from Patrick Elias. So basically, I'm letting Patrick Elias go, and some of his money that I'm saving is going to Mike Fisher instead. I know Mike Fisher is not the same type of player, probably not going to get as many points and everything, but I have a couple other IDs that I can toy with for sure. In my quest to find a defenseman to generate some offense for my team, I looked, and as far as established defensemen, there's really nothing out there. But Montreal has 2 very young defensemen available on the block, and I'm kind of tempted to see that. Now the thing is that I don't want to trade them a really strong piece because they're in the same division as me, but they do have PK Subban and Ryan McDonough on the trade block. So when is the trade deadline? That I did not check before I started to record. Ooh, it's at the end of this month. Okay. I might have to pass on that. We'll see. They might be available in other fashion. We'll see. Thing is that they wouldn't be ready now. I kind of need them right now. But they're both alpha star talent at the moment. They're both 18 years old, so... Yeah, wow. Well, I'm not the biggest PK Subban fan, but I could totally have Ryan McDonough on my team. Oh, should I trade them Patrick Elias for Ryan McDonough, see if they want? I can try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's go back to... let's go back here. Well, it's probably... gonna be at the top right here. Let's try to trade for Ryan McDonough. Right, I am going to offer you Patrick Elias. If I can find him. Oh, here he is. It's hardly likely that they will accept this offer. Well, I'm still going to make it anyway. Alright, so typically when you don't hear back right away, that means that they don't want for the trade to happen. So they're probably going to tell me no, that's okay. It's Montreal. We're rivals. They probably don't want my older player. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So February looks like it's going to be a little bit of a busy month. So we're going to go ahead and get right at it. I'm gonna go ahead and advance, and then we're gonna have a bunch of news because I have a bunch of people that are gonna have signed contracts. So Brian Little is back from suspension in Atlanta, back in the lineup for him. Right. So Eugene Melnick is back to being very happy. We did have a perfect month last month in January. We had 13-0-0. Alright, so Shara signed, Fisher signed, Samgani signed. Oh, among the people that I am also not bringing back, Sens fan might be a little upset, but I'm not bringing back Chris Phillips. I think it's time to move on from Chris Phillips. He didn't develop in this Michael Ryder, I'm also going to let go. Brendan Buczynski, Karel Rakunek, Derek Smith, and Christoph Schubert. So those guys are all going to be let go. A couple of them are definitely a little bit better than the others, but gotta make some decisions. Alright, so with that being said, Bjorn Millen is available on waivers, as is Nathan Dempsey. I'm not going to pick either. And we are about to face the Leafs in Toronto. So Toronto is 33-16-4. That's good for 4th in the East. We are 2-2 against the Leafs this season. So they are giving us some problems again this year. Right, we're going to go with Ryan Miller, and Ty Conklin is going to be in net for Toronto. Go Sens, go! And we lost 3-1, so not a good start to the month. We're definitely not going to have a perfect month in February. We did outshoot Toronto 31-22. Brandon Bell also played for Ottawa in real life, was the first star. He had 2 assists. Mark Streit was the second star with an assist, and Panikarovsky was the third star with 2 goals. Alright, so I guess Patrick Elias heard me talk about his lack of goal scoring. He actually opened up the scoring in the second period on the power play from Jason Spezza and Mark Streit. It was 1-0 Sens after 2, but then we allowed 3 goals in the third period, and we actually lost 3-1. Konstantin Kolstov is available on waivers. Ryan Beta, Steve Popes, and Eric Schwinner as well. Yeah, I'm not picking anybody up. Kyle McLaren back from suspension in Calgary. Good game for Alexander Frolov in LA. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals against New Jersey. Strong game for Zach Parise, who had 5 goals and an assist against the Kings in that same game. Whoa. So Frolov thought that he was having a good game and everything, but Zach Parise showed him how it's done. 5 goals. Wow. A night to remember for Jaromir Jagr, who had 5 assists against Carolina. Pretty good game. Red light stays on for Eric Christensen, playing for Pittsburgh as well. In that same game, he had a hat-trick. Sidney Crosby extends his point streak to 16 games. He had an assist in that same game. Alright. Alright, so we are going to play in Montreal in a few days. Alright, Jamie Pollock is available. UC Niemi is available, and UC Markkanen. Alright, Montreal. That's not a fair offer. Don't bother me with talks like that. Okay. Just so you know, in real life, you traded McDonough for a lot less than that. Just saying, but hey. Alright. Oh, Sidney Crosby's point streak ended at 16 games, was held scoreless against New Jersey. Alright, we are about to play the Habs, who are 32-17-4, which is good for 5th in the East. We are 1-2 against Montreal this season, so I would definitely like to get back on the winning track, especially against the Habs. That would be pretty wonderful. Ryan Miller is going to be in net for us, and he's going to face Carey Price. It's going to be the Carey Price show in Montreal for several years, I'm sure. And we won 3-1. There you go. Yeah, we outshot Montreal 37-30. Matt Stajan was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. François Beauchemin was the second star with an assist, and Chris Kelly was the third star with an assist as well. Sheldon Surrey opened up the scoring in the first period from Matt Stajan. It was 1-0 Ottawa after 1. Then nobody scored in the second period, and in the third period we had Montreal tied a game, and then Tim Gleason scored from Joe Thornton, and then Matt Stajan from Zdeno Chara and Chris Kelly. And 3-1 is how we won this hockey game. Oh, what else is new? Marian Hossa is injured. Suffered cervical hyperextension. He's gonna miss 5 days. Okay, I can deal with 5 days. Right, and in a couple days we're gonna be back home for a 3-game homestand. That's gonna start against the Florida Panthers. Jonathan Girard is available on waivers. A great night for Ilya Kovalchuk, who had a hat-trick against the Flyers. Good job. Oh, Barry Trotz might lose his job as the coach of the Rangers. Rangers are really struggling this year. They are 16-37-3. Wow. Adrian Aucoin has racked up 600 points in his career with a goal against Florida. So Adrian Aucoin playing for Toronto, and he's 34 and still a 2-star player. And in that same game, Nick Antropov has a memorable game with 4 assists. And Joe Pavelski extended with San Jose, scored or signed a 4-year extension that's going to give him $4.42 million per season. Alright, Matthias Johansson is available. Not picking him up. Wow, there's waivers every day so far. Alright, we are about to play the Florida Panthers at home. Florida has given us a little bit of problems this year, even though they are 25-29 and 1. I think I said 21. So not playing for 500 over there. We are 1-2 against Florida, so that's another team we've been struggling with so far this season. So let's beat them. Jason LeBarbera in net for Florida. We are going to Brian Elliott for this one. And we lost 2-1, so Florida continues to give us fits. We just can't beat them. Alright, so we did outshoot them 39-21. Tanner Glass was the first star of the game with a goal. Anton Volchenkov was the second star of the game with a goal as well. And Jason LeBarbera was the third star with 38 saves and the win. 14,889 people in attendance for this game. So nobody scored in the first period. Then in the second period, Florida scored. Then Anton Volchenkov tied the game on the power play from Joe Thornton and Pavel Datsyuk. It was tied at 1 after 2. And then at the start of the third period, Bruno Gervais scored for Florida. Made it 2-1. We could never tie the game. And there was a fight between Zdeno Chara and Gregory Campbell, who coincidentally in real life were teammates, at least for a while. Dallas, Andrew Alberts is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Chris Kunitz extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against the Rangers. And and we're about to play Montreal again. But before that, Chris Kunitz extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal against the Devils. Alright, and we are about to play the Habs, whom we just beat not too long ago. So the Habs are now 33-18-4, which is good for 5th still in the East. We are now 2-2 against Montreal since we just beat them. Alright, they're still going to send Carey Price, and we're going to go to Ryan Metter. And we lost 4-3 in overtime, so we're not doing too good this month. We're kind of struggling. And we were outshot 31-28. François Beauchemin is the first star of the game again with an assist. Sheldon Surrey is the second star with an assist. And Jack Johnson is the third star with an assist as well. We had 19,182 people in attendance for this game. So we opened up the scoring in the first. It was Michael Ryder scoring on the power play from Jason Spezza and Pavel Datsyuk. And then Montreal tied the game, but Patrick Eves gave us the lead again from Sheldon Surrey. It was 2-1 Sens after 1. Then in the second period, Alexander Radulov scored his 5th from Tim Gleason and Martin Havlat, and it was actually 3-1 Sens going into the third period. We felt pretty good about ourselves. But Montreal scored twice, tied the game, it went in overtime, nobody scored, and then it went into the shootout where Saku Koivu scored the game winner. And Tim Gleason is suspended for 6 games. Alright. I guess Jordan Leopold is going to play some games. Alright, Sean Brown available, not picking him up. And then what do we have here? Gregory Campbell is suspended for 1 game in Florida. Joel Lundqvist has a great game, so Henrik Lundqvist's twin brother had a goal and 4 assists in a game against St. Louis. Pretty good game. Doug Janik is back from suspension in Nashville. Adrian Aucoin, whom just got a milestone, just played in his 1000th game for Toronto. Didn't get a point against the Detroit Red Wings. Sergei Fedorov in that same game played in his 1250th game. Didn't score a point either. So Fedorov is 38 and still a 2.5-star player. Jason Williams has a good game playing for Colorado. He had 4 assists against the Canucks. Right, Marianosa is back from being hurt. Now that's good news. Maybe he can provide some offense that we need since we've been losing some games here. Alright, next game is going to be at home against Buffalo in a couple days. Gregory Campbell is already back from suspension. Chris Kunitz extends his point streak to 14 games with 3 assists against Detroit. Did it in grand fashion. Randy Carlyle might lose his job as the coach of the Flyers. Flyers are still playing above 500, but I guess it's not enough. They are 28, 25, and 2. A night to remember for Jaromir Jagr, who had a hat-trick against the Philadelphia Flyers. And Eric Johnson extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Wild. Pretty good. That's nice. We're starting to see players that are still actually playing in the NHL, in real life in 2020. They're starting their career and everything, and we get to see them develop and everything. That's pretty fun, I think. All right. Right, and we are about to host the Buffalo Sabres. So Buffalo is struggling. They are 22-32-1. That's good for 12th in the East. And we are 4-0-1 against the Sabres this season. So we've been doing pretty good against them. We need this win. So give it to us. Martin Biron in net for Buffalo. We're going to Ryan Miller. Oh, we won. 8-1. Alright. We needed that. We torched them in shots on goals, 61-21. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star of the game. He had 3 goals and 3 assists. Jason Spezza was the second star with a goal and 5 assists, and Zdeno Chara was the third star with a goal and 3 assists. So yeah, we had some pretty good performances there. 16,966 people in attendance for that game, and it started with Jason Spezza 23 seconds into the first period from Zdeno Chara and Pavel Datsyuk, then Datsyuk from Spezza and Souray, Thornton from Datsyuk and Spezza, then Zdeno Chara scored his 10th from Mark Streit and Mike Fisher, and then Mike Fisher scored his 10th as well from Zdeno Chara and Brooks Lake. It was 5-0 Sens after 1. That game was pretty much over already. Then Pavel Datsyuk scored from Jason Spezza and Zdeno Chara, and then Pavel Datsyuk completed his hat trick. It was his 20th of the season on the power play from Jason Spezza and Mark Streit. It was 7-0 at that point. Then Buffalo scored a goal. It was 7-1 after 2. And then in the third period, Joe Thornton added a goal from Jason Spezza and Pavel Datsyuk, and 8-1 was the final score. What a game. Pavel Datsyuk has a strong game, as we saw, 6 points. Same for Spezza. Oh, Patrick Lalim is available on waivers. I'm not going to pick him up. He's getting older, and he's only a 1-star goaltender. Chris Kunitz extends his point streak to 15 games with 2 goals and an assist against Colorado. Wow, he's on a tear. Alright, and we are about to play in New Jersey against the Devils. It's going to be a home and home against the Devils, except there's 3 days in between, so we're not playing them in 2 nights or anything like that. But it is still a home and home against the Devils. Alright, so we're going to have Brian Elliott in net, and he's going to face Martin Brodeur. Might be a tough game here. But we won 6-3, that's what matters. So... oh yeah, I forgot to check our record against them and everything. Sorry about that. So we outshot them 43-22. Mike Fisher was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Brooks Lake was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Pavel Datsyuk was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. Mike Fisher opened up the scoring in the first from Marianosa, and then New Jersey tied the game, so it was tied at 1 after 1. And then New Jersey took the lead at the start of the second period, made it 2-1, but then we scored 3 straight. So we had Joe Thornton from Pavel Datsyuk, and then Brooks Lake from Sheldon Souray and Zdeno Chara, and Pavel Datsyuk from Spezza and Meszaros. So it was 4-2. Then New Jersey scored, so it was 4-3 after 2. Then in the third period, we had Marianosa from Brooks Lake and Mike Fisher, and finally Ryan Callahan scored his 5th in an empty net from Alexander Radulov. 6-3 is the final score. Alright, so I guess we were 2-0 against New Jersey this year, and New Jersey is 8th in the East, so they need some wins. They need to climb. Josh Olson is available. Not gonna pick him up. Eric Johnson's assist streak ended at 8 games. Did not get a point against Colorado. Daniel Sedin keeps fans on their feet all night. He had 4 goals against the Minnesota Wild. Pretty good game. Oh, Greg DeVries is available. Chris Kunitz point streak ended at 15 games. He was finally stopped by the Dallas Stars. Didn't get a point against them. Alright, now we are about to play against the New Jersey Devils again. This time at home, the second of the back-to-back, or the home and home, sorry, not back-to-back. So now we are 3-0 against New Jersey. They are 32, 24, and 2, and they are still 8 in the East. Alright, so we have Martin Brodeur in net for New Jersey, and we have Ryan Miller in net for us. This time we won 6-2, so we've been putting a lot of goals up on Martin Brodeur. That's pretty tough to do. We outshot New Jersey, but just barely, 35-34. Joe Thornton was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Pavel Datsyuk was the second star with a goal and 2 assists. And Mike Fisher was the third star with a goal and an assist as well. We had 18,401 people in attendance for this game. Jason Spezza scored the first goal of the game on the power play from Joe Thornton and Pavel Datsyuk, and then Patrick Elias scored on the power play as well from Sheldon Surrey and Chris Kelly. Then New Jersey scored. It was 2-1 Senators after 1. Then in the first period there was also a fight between Zdeno Chara and Brandon Nolan. Right, and then in the second period we had Mike Fisher score short-handed from Sheldon Surrey, then Mark Stride from Brooks Lake and Mike Fisher, and then Pavel Datsyuk on the power play from Joe Thornton and Jason Spezza, 5-1 after 2. Then, Antoine Vermette, whom we traded a while back to the Devils, scored, made it 5-2 Ottawa, but then Patrick Elias scored his 5th from Joe Thornton and Pavel Datsyuk, and 6-2 is the final score. Alright, David Backes is suspended in St. Louis. He's going to miss 4 games. Speaking of which, Tim Gleason is probably coming back soon. Alright, Jeff Platt in St. Louis is not suspended. Victor Ubel with the Islanders is suspended. He's going to miss 3 games. He's still doing pretty good. 41 points in 49 games. That's still pretty good. Danny Briere lights the lamp in Phoenix. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Kings. Jean Perron looks to save his job as the coach of the horrible Tampa Bay Lightning, who are 11-43-5. Yeah, that man is probably gonna need some unemployment checks coming in soon. Byron Ricci is available on waivers. No further discipline for Pittsburgh's Patrick Sharp. No suspension for him. Peter Forsberg has played in 1,000 games. So Peter Forsberg is slowing down a little bit. No points against Chicago. 34 years old, 2-star player. Now that hurts Colorado something fierce. Peter Forsberg only has 4 points in 35 games. Yikes. How much are they paying him? 1.83 million. Wow. Bill Guerin has accomplished 300 goals in his career. So that was against St. Louis. So Bill Guerin, 37 years old, 2-star player. Does he only have 4 points? No, he has 29 points in 61 games. That's not that bad. Yeah, Forsberg is probably going to exit out of my sim soon. That's sad. I always liked Forsberg. Alright, Patrick Elias ready to return. Well, he's been there the entire time. He's been playing hurt. And I'm thanking him by not resigning him. I'm a heartless GM, I guess. Alright, and we are about now to play the Philadelphia Flyers with their coach, who might be losing his job soon. Which one was it? Randy Carlyle. Yes. Alright, so Philadelphia's 30-27-2. That's good for 9th in the East, and we are 2-0 against the Flyers this season. Right, Brent Johnson in net for the Flyers. We are going to Ryan Miller. And we won 2-1. Was a little tough, but we still got the W. And we outshot the Flyers 49-21. Brent Johnson was the first star despite losing with 47 saves. Colin Fraser was the second star with an assist, and Zdeno Chara was the third star with an assist as well. So the game was in Ottawa. We had 15,690 people in attendance for this game. Philadelphia opened up the scoring in the first, but then Pavel Datsyuk tied the game up in the second from Jason Spezza and Joe Thornton. It was tied at 1 after 2. And then Ryan Callahan scored the game winner short-handed in the third period from Zdeno Chara. And 2-1 is the final score. And in that game, Mark Recchi played his 1500th game. So Mark Recchi did not get a point in that game against us. And 40 years old, still a 2.5-star player. He's still capable. I mean, at age 39, he scored 89 points. He has 39 and 60 so far this year. He might still be going. Alright, and we are going to be playing Columbus here in a couple days at home again. Alright, so Patrick Elias is finally recovered from his injury. Alright, no further discipline for Colorado's Kevin Shattenkirk. Did not get suspended. And we have a trade proposal from the New Jersey Devils who want to trade us Jason Ward for Alexei Kegorodov. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so, buddy. Alright, about to play Columbus. We have 5 games left in February. Looks like we're kind of alternating between home and away for the rest of the calendar almost. Not the rest of the calendar, but the rest of the month. Alright, so we have not played Columbus so far this year. They are 36-25-1, so they're pretty good. Let's take a look at their lineup here, see why they're so good. So in net, it's Manny Legacy and Steve Mason. Then on D, it's Brett Edeken, Mark Metat, Oleg Tverdovsky, Steve Montador, Stefan Robida, Mark Matteau, and Andy Sutton. Yeah, that's a decent D. Then Rick Nash, Brad Larson, Joachim Lidstrom, Nikolai Zerdev, Niminen, Broussard, Guerin, Stashny, Sillinger, Mark Savard, Dopita, Bradley, Moziakin, and Aaron Asham. Yeah, it's a decent team. No superstars, but it's a decent team. Alright, let's see if we can beat them. They're going to go with Steve Mason in net. We're going to go with Ryan Miller. And we won 7-3. There you go. We outshot Columbus 41-34 in that game. We had Marian Osa be the first star with 2 assists. Jordan Leopold was the second star with a goal and an assist, and Joe Thornton was the third star with 3 assists. 16,326 people in attendance for this game, and we scored 3 goals in the first. So Sheldon Surrey started, with Mike Fisher and Jordan Leopold getting the assist. Then Patrick Eliash from Marianosa and Brooks Lake, and then Brooks Lake from Mark Streit and Patrick Eliash. 3-0 Sens after 1. Then Pavel Datsyuk scored on the power play from Alexander Radulov and Joe Thornton, made it 4-0. Then Columbus scored twice to come to within 2. But then Anton Volchenkov scored short-handed from Zdeno Chara and Marianosa. It was 5-2 after 2. In the third period, Columbus scored again to come back to within 2 again, but then Jordan Leopold scored his first of the season from Pavel Datsyuk and Joe Thornton, and Jason Spezza completed the scoring, his 30th of the season from Andre Meszaros and Joe Thornton, 7-3 the final score. Pavel Datsyuk extends his goal streak to 5 games with this goal in that game. Pretty good. Alright, Victor Ubel is back from suspension. And the trade deadline is nearing. Yeah, sadly I need my pieces to make the playoffs, so I think we're going to be in a situation again where I'm going to try to trade some players after the season is over. See what I can get. Maybe I can get myself a little Ryan McDonough. I wouldn't mind that. Alright, so we are about to play against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is really good. They are 47-10-4. They are 9 points ahead of us in the standings. They are first in the East with that record, and we are 0-2 against Pittsburgh. We've played them pretty tight both games, but we lost them both. Oops, that's tomorrow. It's still happening, just tomorrow. Suspension for Kyle Quincy, playing for the Blues. He is suspended for 6 games. And David Backes is back in the lineup. Dion Phaneuf is suspended in Calgary. He's going to miss 9 games. And Andrew Alberts is back from suspension in Dallas. There was no stopping Alex Tanguay in Colorado. He had a hat-trick against Phoenix. Alright, and now we are playing this game against Pittsburgh that I just announced. It's in Pittsburgh, and we're going to have Ryan Miller in net, and they're going to go with Marc-Andre Fleury. And we lost 2-1 in overtime. We did get a point out of it, at least. We were outshot 48-43. Ryan Miller was the first star of the game despite the loss with 46 saves. Jason Spezza was the second star with an assist, and Marc-Andre Fleury was the third star with 42 saves and the W. Ottawa opened up the scoring in the second period. It was Michael Ryder scoring on the power play from Mark Streit and Jason Spezza. It was 1-0 after 2. Then in the third period, Pittsburgh tied the game, and then it went in overtime where Barrett Jackman played the hero with the game winner. So it didn't go to the shootout. It was in an actual overtime loss. Alright, and Tim Gleason is finally back from his suspension. Alright, and then we're back at home to play against the Leafs in a couple days. Great night for Mike Camilleri, who had a hat-trick against Chicago. That's pretty good. Oh, Doug Waite in with the Rangers is hurt. He's gonna... Ooh. He has a concussion and he's going to be out of the lineup for 11 months. That's a calendar year almost. He might retire. He's getting older. Wow. Alright, so we're about to play Toronto for the second time this month. We did lose against them first game in February. So now the Leafs are 41-18-4. That's good for 4th in the East. We are 2-3 against them so far this year. Alright, Jean-Sébastien Giguère in net for Toronto, Ryan Miller in net for Ottawa. And we won that one 3-1. Good job. Back on the home ice. We outshot Toronto 41-23. Pavel Datsyuk was the first star. He had a goal and an assist. Eric Cole was the second star with a goal. And Joe Thornton was the third star with 2 assists. We had 16,585 people in attendance for this game. Pavel Datsyuk scored the first goal in the first period. It was his 25th from Joe Thornton. Then Jason Spezza scored in the second period from Pavel Datsyuk and Joe Thornton. And then Toronto scored to cut our lead in half. But we were up 2-1 after 2. Then in the third period, Andre Mazzaro scored the insurance marker from Mike Fisher and Brooks Light. 3-1 is the final score in that one. Alright, and the very next day we are headed to Boston for a game against the Bruins. Alright, so Boston is also having a pretty decent year. They are 37-18-6, but that's good for 7th in the East. So, oh, there's a big drop-off there, like between 7th and 8th. So it's like we're fighting for position between 1 and 7, and then everybody else is fighting for the 8th spot. There's a 11-point difference there. But anyway, so we are 3-0-1 against Boston this season. Hopefully we can beat them again. So it's in Boston. We're going to have Brian Elliott in net. They have Yevgeny Nabokov. And we lost 41, so they beat us fair and square. Oh, we did outshoot them 53-29, but we just couldn't beat Nabokov more than once. David Tanabe was the first star of the game. He had an assist. Yevgeny Nabokov was the second star with 52 saves. And Chris Neal, former Ottawa Senator, was the third star with a goal. Alright, so Boston scored first in the second period, then Andre Mazzaro tied the game from Volchenkov and Chris Kelly, but then Boston scored again, made it 2-1 after 2, and then they scored it twice more in the third period, and we were never into that one despite the shots, but goal-wise, we just weren't in it, and we lost. Alright, Nicholas Backstrom extends his point streak to 12 games with an assist against Minnesota. Alright, so today's the trade deadline. We do have 2 trade proposals. One from the Flyers, the other one from the Lightning. Let's see. So they want to trade us Patrick Maroon for Alexei Kegorodov. Maybe. And Tampa Bay wants to trade us Kent McDonald for Jacob Klippis. No, but I think I'm going to make the other trade. Alright, so we're going to trade Alexei Kegorodov to the Flyers. In return, we're going to get Patrick Maroon. Nice little trade. Alright. Yeah, Patrick Maroon shouldn't be playing in the NHL today, but he's a, 3-star player? Potential, not current. And Patrick Maroon in real life did have some decent seasons. He's a little bit kind of a hard-nosed winger. A little bit kind of almost a power forward. Probably doesn't score enough to be considered a power forward, but yeah, I don't mind having him on the team. Alright, so we have one more game left in February. It's going to be in Philadelphia. Oh, Douglas Murray available, Ryan Beda, Danny Ehrman, Patrick Fisher, and Konstantin Costa. Wow. Almost all Coyotes players, so it looks like Phoenix is making room. Oh, and former Ottawa Senator gets traded. Right, so So the Kings are trading Eric Esberg and Danny Taylor to Anaheim for Sami Salo and Christian Kudrock. I would say that LA got the best of that trade. Sami Salo was the superior player even though he's 33. Nice. So I guess that's the only other trade on trade deadline day that happened. Oh, Tim Gleason got hurt somehow while he was suspended. Look at that. Minor facial cut. Can't even play. Alright, so the Flyers are 33-28-2, and they are 9th in the East. They need a win bad if they want to catch up to the Devils. We are 3-0 against Philadelphia this season. We are playing them in Philly. Ryan Miller in net for us. Brent Johnson in net for the Flyers. And we lost 3-2 in overtime, so we're getting a point. Philadelphia gets 2. And that's not a great game or even a great month that we've had. So we outshot Philadelphia 65-9 and we managed to lose. Rod Brind'Amour was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Michael Ryder was the second star with 2 assists, and Brent Johnson was the third star with 63 saves in the winning effort. So we open up the scoring in the first. It was Chris Kelly on the power play from Jason Spezza and Michael Ryder. Then Philadelphia tied the game up in the second period. Then we traded goals in the third period. Matt Stajan scored for us from Michael Ryder and Andre Mazzaros. Then Rod Brind'Amour tied the game up for Philadelphia. And then it went into the shootout where Jeff Carter and Yaroslav Modry both scored. And our shooters missed, so... Have we even won again in the shootout? Maybe. I think we did like once, but it seems to me like we tend to lose those. Danny Briere has racked up 600 points in his career with 2 assists against St. Louis. That's pretty good. 600 points, 30 years old. Danny Briere, 2.5-star player still. Alright. Oh, there's a February 29th in that year, in 2008. It's a leap year. Alright. Ooh, Brian Campbell in Buffalo is going to miss 4 months. Got hurt against Montreal. That's... Well, Buffalo wasn't going to make the playoffs anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter for them. Matt Moulson extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against Minnesota. Nicholas Backstrom's point streak ended at 12 games. Could not get a point against the Devils. Alright, Tim Gleason might be coming back soon. Jagger extended with Pittsburgh. And he signed for 1 year at $7.22 million for 1 year. Yikes. The contracts are already starting to get really bad. And Sidney Crosby and Jimmy Howards are the players of the month in the NHL, so we couldn't get that award again. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the standings a little bit. So we are still second in the East. I already pointed out how there's a huge gap between 7th and 8th place in the East. Now in the West, we have Detroit first, Dallas, Edmonton, Nashville, Columbus, Anaheim, San Jose, and Colorado. Oh, Colorado snuck back into a playoff spot here. Yeah, the point distribution is a little bit more even in the West, except for Detroit. They're all by themselves. Alright, and now for the stats. So we have Spezza that's taking the lead here for the team leading in point with 74 points in 65 games. Of course, that 6-point game probably really helped. Joe Thornton is still a point per game, 66 points in 65 games. Datsuk is pretty close with 59 in 63. Osa is 36 in 54. Eliash is 34 in 50. Shar is 32 in 65. And then it kind of starts to go down from there. So, yeah, we're having a few different players that are kind of struggling, like Martin Havlat is really not doing all that great. I thought that by trading Alfredson he would get a little bit more ice, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Alright, and in the entire league, the best goal scorer is Ilya Kovalchuk with 47 goals, so he's probably going to get to 50. And the best passer is Jagger with 59, and he is also the best scorer with 91 points. Jason Spezza is 9th with 74. Alright. So too bad we couldn't land Ryan McDonough, but they're still after the season. We'll see what I can get. I think I managed to get some good players last season, and I'm pretty happy with the Kigorodov for Patrick Maroon trade. Not a superstar, but he should be playing in the NHL eventually, so not too upset with that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and stop here for today. So next time is going to be the month of March. Looks like it's going to be a pretty busy one too, with a long road trip on the American West Coast. So, well, I do want to thank you for tuning in, and if you've liked the video, of course, feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff, and until I roll this game again, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.